Hi, beautiful Taurus. We're back to do your read for the month of June. Better late than never. And that good old Mercury retrograde energy. So I think it's quite funny that I'm doing Taurus as tomorrow. And so hopefully I can release this to the public. We're putting them to the members first because that's part of the contract that we have. But the crazy thing is what I am seeing for your star sign, especially because we had Mercury retrograde. It was double dipping, you know, it was traveling through both Gemini and Taurus, and it goes station direct on the 3rd. And so for you individually, you could almost feel a little bit like, you know, a dare in the woods going, oh my Lord, what's going on? Now, it's funny because I am picking up father energy or going towards a mentor. It's like you're spiritually wanting to talk to somebody who maybe is very gentle and understanding. And, you know, for some of you, yes, I have been sensing a lot that there has been guides coming through. Now, this might be a romantic interest. It might be something in your own particular energy that you're trying to embody, which is, you know, especially depending on if you're a masculine or a feminine, we're going to be balancing both polarities. We're going to be balancing the heart and the creative side, as well as trying to evolve through these testing changes. The opposite side is using our intuition. So there can be a lot of headaches. There needs to be this extra fluid that we're putting into our diet. We also can be feeling a bit testing with our nerves. So we need to be careful when it does come to psychic attacks this month, and especially looking after your energy as all these transformations are happening. The other thing I'm getting is that the eclipses were in your zodiac sign, and it's a very emotional transformation that you guys are going through. So I'm here to support you because I have been through that myself with the 1st and the 7th house. And we are going to channel these energies very cyclically to try and prepare you. As much as we are moving away from it, it will be transformative for the next 6 months, and then it'll be coming up again. So whatever you found in the last 2 months that has happened, as Mercury goes station direct on the 3rd, you're going to find you're really going to be in your toots. You're going to be thinking about, what does this mean for me? Am I going to be okay? Am I safe? And there could be this nervousness that you experience. It's quite funny because the animal totem card, I picked one for the past, one for the present, and the things going on this month, as well as what your demeanor is moving forward. And a lot of themes have been coming up in the previous reads to do with us physically choosing to honor our soul, which kind of, the more I think about it, with my guides, with the astrology, you know, the next moon is going to be in the house of Sagittarius, and it is to do with spiritual gurus. It is to do with religion and our belief system. So it does kind of make sense that suddenly we're having this epiphany inside of our lives of, well, what about me? And I think this is very, very cryptic, so to speak. So I think personally, you might initially look outside yourself like it's a solution, and then suddenly have this revelation that it's okay for you to have a feeling, to have an emotion, and to be a little bit nervous, and really be reflecting upon a project, a situation, a romantic partnership. It's like you're going to have to do something, and it's taking you outside your comfort zone. And I feel this could make you feel a little bit uncertain and maybe questioning your confidence as to your abilities to do it. You can do it, babes. Okay, I do believe in you, and you can do it. So you have rabbit, and it's funny because you could have a pregnancy scare, okay, for some of you, but it is to do with creativity, point blank zero. You know, the solar plexus and the sacral chakra are being shown to me. If you can avoid pacifiers, it would be my best advice to you. As Neptune goes direct, you can get psychic attacks. You're going to have agitation. It's safer for you inside of your star sign if you are doing things to support your system through this process. So, you know, in layman's terms, the style of readings that I do are going to help you with your wellness. They're going to help you with warnings, as well as psychic and astrology. So I try to use as much as I can, all facets of energy, to have you back through this process. So it's almost like we're coming into the month of June a little bit anxious, a little bit burnt out and tired, a lot of changes. Now, automatically, when we're going through changes, we may get to a point where it's happening on the outside of us. And I'm stating it again. It is inside of us that it's changing, but it can be that you suddenly want to change your hair, your makeup, your diet, regardless of what, you know, if you're a male or a female, there's something in your demeanor that's changing. Now, You might again feel uncertain. And if we do go to extremes, you know, how that can kind of come through can be going on shopping sprees or eating excessively. It can be emotional cleaning and avoidance, but just be aware of how it's happening. Now, this is going to be a beautiful outcome for you this month. Sometimes we can feel we're needing to make decisions, and that can be because something isn't resonating with us. None of us want to be the good guy or the bad guy, or the good girl or the bad girl, but it's also about self, so it feels very personal. Now, the card is to do with creativity. So is there a personal boundary? Is there courage? Is there creativity that we can tap into? That the beauty is all on the inside, but again, the uncertainty and the insecurities can be an imbalance of the solar plexus. So I would probably say as Mercury goes direct, if you feel a little bit of nervousness and you want to kind of balance yourself, walking and moving from the hips can actually release that. And you can particularly do a guided meditation for the inner child, and that can be the solar plexus and move sacral chakra. Now, ironically enough, you might be concerned about security. Now, this can be emotional or physical. We do have the orange chakra coming up, and you know, there's values, there's beliefs, there's feeling is like, and it's in reverse, so it can be that you feel a little bit sluggish, and you also can feel a little bit more hungry during these times, especially because I love the Taurus transits. I mean, they're beautiful in a sense of feeling grounded, tapping into beauty. You can see a lot of different beauty products coming through and really, really out there situations, which is, you know, one of the reasons why we have your beautiful zodiac sign that blesses us with these things, and you are in the North Node at the moment. Don't underestimate yourself. You know, yes, beauty is only skin deep, but there is this beautiful rebirth that you guys are having. And so if you're having these creative ideas and you're having this inspiration, it's actually saying something from the past that you've done before, you might be able to tweak it and do it again. I also feel for some of you, there could be a circumstance where, regardless of whether you're single or coupled, you could be looking at love at the moment and saying, okay, what to from here? What do I do with this? So I do feel there's a question mark, and you particularly could, you know, just make sure you're not choosing of what is the safest option, but where the heart takes you. But do look into it and see what is going to resonate with you the most, because there could be this juggling at the moment emotionally, and it doesn't even have to be that this person is with you in the 3D. It could be feeling that nostalgia of something that felt that it resonated more so with you. And it's always important to look at those things. So for some of you, there could be this thought regarding the past, and it's like either you want to take a connection back to the way that was, or you want to revisit the nurture, the way things were simpler. I feel some of you are feeling you want that spice back in life, and you want that beauty, that, you know, textiles, that chemistry, and you could feel to a degree, this is one major kind of message that has been really lingering through all the star signs today, is feeling that we're cheating ourselves, and that can be by pushing an emotion down and feeling we're not honoring it and listening to it. Particularly, I do feel it's almost like the inner masculine in you is sticking up for yourself, and it's kind of screaming at you. It's like, okay, is this something that you want to do? Is this how you feel? I'm feeling you're questioning those things. And usually wherever the tension is coming from in our life, it's what the problem is, but it's also the solution. It's about not pretending it's not there, but actually looking at it and going, okay, that over there is the problem. This is what I need to look at. And I think I need to honor my feelings. Am I cheating myself out of happiness at the minute? And, you know, am I thinking that this is the benchmark and that's all I can have when I can have so much more? And I feel that you're understanding and empathizing with potentially a contract, a work interest, people, places and things. But at the same time, you're asking the pivotal questions. Where do I stand in the mix with this? And what do I potentially believe? And I feel from a spiritual point of view, you could be really battling your mind. The beautiful thing is, anytime we reach the 12th house is a closing of a cycle, and there's a beautiful amount of healing, and we can have major breakthroughs. And I really do feel the universe is saying to you, you have some wonderful ideas. You've got so much gifts to give. This could be a huge creative process where you've become comfortable in a way of life. Universe kind of shackles those carpets out from under you, and then it's kind of like you're thrown in the deep end, and before you know it, you're doing better than anyone else. I keep feeling, don't underestimate yourself. You're going to be quite Quite vivacious, let me put it that way. Let's pull a clarifier on this one. What's this to do with there? Okay, there could be, purpose is really key. And I feel if we haven't found our life purpose, a lot of times we can end up getting quite fixated on what other people are doing and feeling a little bit insecure. And this can be another person projecting towards you, or you feeling, again, like you are having these interesting emotions from the past coming up, sometimes from an intuitive point of view. You can go, gosh, you know, why wasn't I born with the silver spoon in my mouth, and why does this person have that? But I feel somebody is projecting towards you. Okay, there's somebody here in the mix. There's two energies. I'm getting two energies coming through in your reading. Now, this could be to do with two circumstances. It could be to do with work, and it could be to do with love. For some of you, it could be a third-party situation. I want this over here, but I can't have it. That's what I've got. I do feel this is an external person. This can be a romantic interest that maybe is watching you. Maybe isn't saying anything, maybe acting like they don't care, but you're getting mixed messages from them. Also feel for some of you, I don't know why this is coming through, there could be a move of home. I don't know if it's coming through right now, but particularly there is a potential you could hear of something connected to family and a potential move of home. There is going to be some happy things. There's going to be some happy information, and it's sort of like gossip, but it's not, because the person is reaching out to you. They're actually giving you the privy information. I do feel some of you are going to meet up with a group of friends this month. And I also feel if there was a drama that you were dealing with, especially if there's a project, it's like it's going to ease up where you can actually get back on top of it. But I feel you're revisiting some of that creativity. And it's going to be something where people will be so envious of it. It's like, why didn't I think of that? It just feels so so alluring, so to speak. Oh, okay, Devil Wears Prada. I don't know why I'm getting that. I don't know. You're setting somebody's world on fire, so to speak. It kind of feels like they're seeing a different side of you, and so it could be making a love interest a little bit insecure because you're fed up of the circumstance. You could be having these emotions, but I feel it's directly another person. I do feel it's almost like they're getting the revenge body. I don't know where that's coming from. It feels like, okay, almost feeling inspired to get fit, shake the energy off, you know, start really focusing on your life purpose and the things that take you to bliss. I don't think you're going to be, if you're being quiet of mind and understanding and empathetic and understand, it just feels, if you've got something to say to somebody this month, I just feel you're going to be quite direct with it. I don't feel you're going to hold back. Somebody is attacking your belief systems. That's bloody Sagittarius. Okay, the moon in Sagittarius is going to be unique. I mean, there are beautiful things, but this can be innovation and breakthroughs. You spiritually could actually gain so much confidence this month, providing you can actually roll with those waves. Look, I do feel somebody is watching you, and I feel this is very positive. I'm not feeling this is scary or anything like that. I feel there could be a group of friends that bump into you. For some of you, if you're a single individual that's Taurus, I feel these people know somebody that you're in love with. And I kind of feel that they're spreading a rumor. Oh, have you seen Taurus? You know, Taurus is looking great. I do feel there's an I spy energy in your reading. For those of you in a romantic partnership, it could be that you're at home and you know, your partner's working, you're a bit worried about the finances. It might be that you're not able to have those luxuries that you used to, and you're kind of thinking outside the box, and you know what's coming. It's either, you know, it could be changing jobs and a situation going there, but it also could be you returning to work or getting a pay rise. But there's something in the mix where it might be tight for a couple of weeks, and then it's sort of getting to the point it's like launching. For some of you, I actually feel those more so in a partnered energy may have transformations and changes there. If this is money, and this can be money coming in, this could be inheritances, this could be the person actually getting a pay rise, something's changing. But it may be where you feel to a degree you kind of depend on them for a reason. And this is not for all of you, but there are for a pocket group of you, suddenly you decide you're going back. Yeah, you're not saying anything. You're like, look, it is what it is. I don't really want to talk about it. This is uncomfortable, but they're outright talking about it. So it's making you feel a little bit funky. but I do feel budget's getting back on track and you're moving it forward. Now, you're almost nostalgic looking back at the past and thinking, gosh, where were the heydays? Where were the nice days where we could have a pina colada and sit back and have a cup of tea and not worry about a $2 cappuccino, right? So you're looking at the past and you're thinking about that, but you're also thinking about the nostalgia of the better days, the cruisy relationships, the things that flow, the spice of life, the things that took you to bliss. And you're thinking about, you know, back then, maybe you thought it was terrible. And now you're kind of looking at it with fresh eyes and fresh perspective. That is the first and the seventh house. Bloody joy, that transit, I tell you. It's sort of like you think about your life in one way and then suddenly it changes and it does the 360. And it does end up in the long run being a huge blessing and advantage inside of your work life, inside of your romantic life, because you're seeing both sides of the coin. So it's sort of like you become the magician in that arena and you are able to take a more tactical, spiritual, adult approach to it with more success. So this is really going to benefit you. Look, you might have had a lot of things going on. This can A, be your whole life, or B, it can be where you feel that, you know, in the last maybe 2 years, there's been shake-ups, there's been rumbles, but it has been kind of amping up a notch. Okay, I'm seeing 3 individuals again. Now, it could be your siblings. It might be a group of people. There could be something going on where there has been tension. There is a possibility for a lot of zodiac signs this month, and especially because it's coming through for you again, is there could be a breakthrough that you have directly connected to a sibling or siblings. But even though we're having Mercury direct, I do feel there's something in the past that you're spiritually trying to come to terms with, and it does feel like it's coming back into the here and now. There is regret. If you were left out in the cold and you're looking at your shadow side of your life and you're looking at where you stand right now, I feel it's almost like Lucy, the movie. You're kind of pausing and you're looking around and going, good grief, okay, we're moving forward. Where to from here? Now, the beautiful thing is, which is kind of like, we're going to pull a clarifier on this one. Number one, you have serenity. This could be after an emotional circumstance. You know, if you have pushed things down, it can come back up. But you kind of feel you've learned a very valuable lesson. And look, 2 things can be coming through. If there had been a passing, it's letting things go, but it's also making peace with it. But the emotion could also come up very separately. It could be that you're having this epiphany that you get the good, the bad, and the ugly in life, and that's it, right? So it's very logical. But I do feel you're moving into peace. You're not going to let anybody muck with your peace, okay? You're having a light bulb moment. You may have to make a judgment on a circumstance. Some of you are worried. I do see you getting advice, and this, I feel it's from a male figure. I feel you're having a revelation. You're getting advice from a particular advisor. This could be, we'll go back to it in a minute. First message that's been shown to me is a parent figure, somebody you trust in. Particularly, I do feel it's a male. This is a male energy. Now, if this is a loved one who's passed over already a while ago, it's almost like you're saying to yourself, what would that person say to me in this circumstance? And I do feel spiritually, they are guiding you, but it's about actually slowing down to watch it. And I do feel to a degree, you kind of think everything's slowed down and you've got to hurry up and get things done. Looking at life going, do you know what? When am I going to tie all this up? When's it going to get better so I can actually move forward? I don't know why I'm seeing there's something you're going to need to let go. I do feel during this time it can actually help you, and especially near the full moon in Sagittarius. I feel as we move towards the new moon in Cancer towards the end of the month, I feel as long as you're organised and you get things moving, you're going to have more of a social time. And this could be a getaway. It might be, you know, going and doing pleasurous things, hanging out with friends and family, making decisions to do with home. I just feel, especially in your nurture energy, I think it's going to give you some time to unwind, which is it's the goal that you have in mind this month. It's like, okay, hopefully this is better. Let's pull a clarifier. What's this to do with? Okay, it will be challenging with Jupiter. And that's why I say be really careful of how you unwind. Be careful of excess caffeine. Try and increase your fluid. If it is meditation you need to do, if it's, actually speaking before it gets to a point that, you're sweeping under the carpet and it's rearing its ugly head, I feel there could be a circumstance to that degree that you're dealing with. For some of you, it can be that you're having a reconciliation, but you're a bit iffy about it. There could be some emotions to do with romance at the moment that has felt a bit stagnant. Okay, Mercury gave you time to think. You're now having revelations. Yeah, so it's this card cracks me up. Okay, I've given you the warning. So the dates I would be concerned about for you, Taurus, is the 3rd through to the 1st. I would say 2 to 3 weeks into the month. It's going to be busy. You're going to have to be organized. You can have communication to do with love. You can have wealth coming in if you react correctly. Now, when you're getting stressed, finding ways to be organized, finding ways to be cautious on particular dates. The dates I will give you is the 3rd, the 15th, the 18th, the 28th, okay? With anything that would take your psyche away. Now, that could equal pacifiers, caffeine, and extremities. I would go easy on that this month. Psychic attacks can happen, nervousness can happen, and you need to really kind of look after yourself, okay? Because this is what you can end up with, and it won't be pretty. The card of a clarifier of what they wanted me to tell you is preventative wellness is easier than accomplishing the corrective wellness. So it's like, if we know these dates and we know these things, we know because we're listening to our own life, and then we don't do anything about it. It's sort of like, well, it'll be easier to clean up now than to clean up later, especially because of the way things are going. So look, I really do feel if you were doing too many things in your day, things are going to lighten up so you can get back on top of things. It is going to feel like cramming homework. You're also going to have opportunities as we move forward to have some really romantic and beautiful times, but it's going to be important to have time management. I do feel if you're on the fence to do with something, it's choose something that does take you to your bliss. Trust the process, because I ultimately feel if something's not working, don't push it, but also don't push yourself. Be expressive, express your needs. You're going to get your bliss by, look, I do feel this bliss coming through, and I do feel this communication. For some of you, you can have, as Mercury goes direct, you can have income increasing, self-esteem increasing, as well as romance. Now, this can mean you're quite fertile, okay? But it also can mean that you're deeply creative, and that can come down to your finances. The other thing I will say, that's okay, Del. The other thing I will say is, how do I explain it? Okay, be selective of your friendship group. And the people you're mixing with, I don't think they mean you any harm, but there could be something that you've misunderstood. There might have been a circumstance with a friend where maybe some cross wires happen. This also can be with families. Don't underestimate yourself when it does come to a dream that you have, but also be aware that you might have a bit of eye-opening experiences. If you do have intuition relating to a friend, or a large project, it's asking you to be extremely practical at the moment. And that, it's not to say we can't launch things, but if we do look at life management, that card there, the one I just talked about, is preventative situations are easier to deal with than corrective. It's like, be practical. Jupiter's really, let's go in and get it, but it was in Pisces. Now, Neptune going retrograde, some of us kind of think in layman's terms when we look at the 12th house, it can be to do with retirement. So it's sort of like, doing something and then I'll get to have a holiday, doing something and then I'll get to retire. And I think it's almost like we've created this transaction inside of the things we're doing. And it's almost like the vibration that we're actually taking into that situation is, I'll endure this It's a bit like I'll go into hell and then I'll be able to have the bliss. And it's like we've got to change that attitude. We really need to find a moderate way of dealing with that so that whole process is enjoyable, not just the end goal. And I think this is what you're looking at the moment. You're looking at it practically. Sometimes when we're looking at a mission and a goal that we have in mind, we may feel as though it's just not manageable, so we can't do it. And it's like, no, be practical. Do it in intervals. Do it in steps. It's one foot after the other, and I think that you'll really get there. Also, don't feel that you can't have friends. If friends change their mind and they're going a bit funky on you, just come to an acceptance that your true tribe will always find you, and the people that love you are always going to pivot back to you. So be open to that. I do see you guys from a practical point of view are trying to find healthy ways to navigate the cash component. I also feel there could be an emotion at the moment where you're feeling, okay, do I need to change my wellness? Is this, and this, like I said, it can be pacified. So keep your stress levels down. If you need to go to the ocean and scream, do that. You've got some really good things coming. It's okay to change your mind with things. Have a great month. Be happy.